Module 1 Introduction. Let's start with general introduction about ultraviolet and visible spectrophotometry. Spectroscopy is the study of the interaction between matter and electromagnetic radiation. Spectroscopic data is often represented by a spectrum, a plot of the response of interest as a function of wavelength or frequency. Different regions of electromagnetic spectrum have different kinds of spectroscopic techniques associated with them. Radio waves, ESR, electronic spin resonance spectroscopy, and NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. Microwaves, rotational spectroscopy. In infrared waves, IR spectroscopy. UV visible waves or UV visible, ultraviolet visible spectroscopy. Figure shows different regions of electromagnetic radiations. We can see that X-ray core electron excitation range, UV valence electronic excitation range, IR molecular vibrations range, radio waves, that is nuclear spin states in a magnetic field. We can also see the visible region in the figure. Molecules absorb energy, and this energy can bring about translational, rotational or vibrational motion or ionization of the molecules depending upon the frequency of the electromagnetic radiation they receive. Excited molecules are unstable and quickly drop down to ground state, again giving off the energy they have received as electromagnetic radiation or EMR. The wavelength and intensity of the electromagnetic radiation absorbed or emitted can be recorded to get a spectrum. Spectral analysis yields qualitative and quantitative information about the matter under study. Spectrum. Spectrum is the display of the energy level of an EMR as a function of wave number of electromagnetic radiation energy. The energy level of an EMR may be expressed in any of the following terms. Absorbance, EMR absorbance. Transmittance, EMR passed through. Intensity, radiant power of EMR. Now we will see the principle of ultraviolet visible absorption. Ultraviolet visible spectroscopy or ultraviolet visible spectrophotometry, UV visible or UV-visible, refers to absorption spectroscopy or reflectance spectroscopy in the ultraviolet visible spectral region. This means it uses light in the visible and near adjacent, that is near UV and near infrared ranges. The absorption or reflectance in the visible range directly affects the perceived color of the chemicals involved. In this region of the electromagnetic spectrum, molecules undergo electronic transitions. This technique is complementary to fluorescence spectroscopy, in that fluorescence deals with transitions from the excited state to the ground state, while absorption measures transitions from the ground state to the excited state. Molecules containing pi electrons or non-bonding electrons can absorb the energy in the form of ultraviolet or visible light to excite these electrons to higher anti-bonding molecular orbitals. The more easily excited the electrons, the longer the wavelength of the light it can absorb. Next comes applications. The UV visible spectra have broad features that are of some use for sample identification but are very useful for quantitative measurements. Ultraviolet visible spectroscopy is useful to characterize the absorption, transmission and reflectivity of a variety of compounds and technologically important materials such as pigments, coatings, etc. UV visible spectroscopy is useful in analytical chemistry for the quantitative determination of different analytes such as transition metal ions, highly conjugated organic compounds and biological macromolecules. Now we come to module 2, electronic excitation or transitions. The absorption of ultraviolet or visible radiation corresponds to the excitation of outer electrons. There are three types of electronic transitions which are discussed here now. First, transitions involving p, s and n electrons. Transitions involving charge transfer electrons. Transitions involving d and f electrons. When an atom or molecule absorbs energy, electrons are promoted from their ground state to an excited state. In a molecule, the atoms can rotate and vibrate with respect to each other. These vibrations and rotations also have discrete energy levels which can be considered as being packed on top of each electronic level. Absorbing species containing p, s and n electrons. Absorption of ultraviolet and visible radiation in organic molecules is restricted to certain functional groups which are known as chromophores that contain valence electrons of low excitation energy. The spectrum of a molecule containing these chromophores is complex. This is because the superposition of rotational and vibrational transitions on the electronic transitions gives a combination of overlapping lines. This appears as a continuous absorption band. Figure shows electronic transitions of p, s and n electrons. We can see that there are various transitions of bonding sigma, bonding pi, non-bonding n, anti-bonding pi dash and anti-bonding sigma dash transitions. Sigma to sigma dash transitions. The energy required for an electron in a bonding sigma orbital to get excited to the corresponding anti-bonding orbital is large. For example, methane, which has only CH bonds and can only undergo sigma to sigma dash transitions, shows an absorbance maximum at 125 nanometer and are thus not seen in typical UV visible spectra 200 to 780 nanometer. N to sigma dash transitions. Saturated compounds containing atoms with lone pairs, that is non-bonding electrons, like saturated alcohols, amines, halides, ethers, etc. are capable of showing N to sigma dash transitions. Energy required for these transitions is usually less than sigma to sigma dash transitions. Such compounds absorb light having wavelength in the range 150 to 250 nanometer. For example, absorption maxima for water, methyl chloride and methyl iodide 167 nanometer, 169 nanometer and 258 nanometer respectively. Pi to pi dash transitions. These transitions need an unsaturated group in the molecule to provide the pi electrons. Example in alkenes, alkynes, aromatics, acyl compounds or nitriles. Most absorption spectroscopy of organic compounds is based on transitions of n or pi electrons to the pi dash excited state, and the absorption peaks for these transitions fall in an experimentally convenient region of the spectrum 200 to 780 nanometer. Pi to pi dash transitions normally give molar absorptivities between 1000 to 10,000 liter mole inverse centimeter inverse. Unconjugated alkenes absorb at 170 to 190 nanometer. N to pi dash transitions. Unsaturated compounds containing atoms with lone pairs, that is non-bonding electrons, show this transition. For N to pi dash transitions, the molar absorptivities are relatively low, that is 10 to 1000 liter mole inverse centimeter inverse. For example, saturated aliphatic ketones absorb at 280 nanometer. Most UV visible spectrometric studies are carried out between 180 to 780 nanometer range. Region below 180 nanometer is referred to as the vacuum ultraviolet region. Atmospheric gases and most glasses and quartz absorb below 180 nanometer, making measurements difficult without taking special measures. The only molecular moieties that absorb light in the 200 to 800 nanometer range are pi electron functions and heteroatoms having non-bonding valence shell electron pairs. Chemical functionalities that are responsible for absorption are referred to as chromophores. Thus, any species which is colored absorbs visible light, and any moiety with an extended system of alternating double and single bonds will absorb ultraviolet light. This makes UV visible spectroscopy applicable to a wide range of samples. The solvent in which the absorbing species is dissolved also has an effect on the spectrum of the species. Peaks resulting from N to pi dash transitions are shifted to shorter wavelength, that is blue shift, with increasing solvent polarity. This arises from increased solvation of the lone pair, which lowers the energy of the n orbital. Often but not always, the reverse, that is red shift, is seen for p to p dash transitions. This is caused by attractive polarization forces between the solvent and the absorber, which lower the energy levels of both the excited and unexcited states. This effect is greater for the excited state, and so the energy difference between the excited and unexcited states is slightly reduced, resulting in a small red shift. This effect also influences N to P dash transitions, but is overshadowed by the blue shift resulting from solvation of lone pairs. Charge transfer absorption. Many inorganic species show charge transfer absorption and are called charge transfer complexes. For a complex to demonstrate charge transfer behavior, one of the components must have electron donating properties and another component must be able to accept electrons. Absorption of radiation then involves the transfer of an electron from the donor to an orbital associated with the acceptor. Molar absorptivities from charge transfer absorption are large, greater than 10,000 liter mole inverse centimeter inverse. Next module is quantitative laws. In this, first we will see Lambert's law. According to the law, when a beam of light is allowed to pass through a transparent medium, the intensity of light decreases as the thickness of the medium increases. Also expressed as when a ray of monochromatic light passes through an absorbing medium, its intensity decreases exponentially as the length of the absorbing medium increases. We will see now equation. IT is equal to I0 10 to the power minus KT, where IT is the intensity of the transmitted light, I0 is the intensity of the incident light, K is the absorption coefficient. This equation represents Lambert's law. Absorption coefficient is defined as the reciprocal of thickness that is required to reduce the intensity of the light to 1 by 10 of its intensity. The ratio IT by I0 is termed as the transmittance T. The ratio log I0 by IT is termed as absorbance A of the medium or optical density or extinction of the medium. The ratio I0 by IT is termed as opacity. Therefore, A is equal to log I0 by IT is equal to log I upon T. The specific absorption coefficient is the absorbance per unit length and unit concentration. Now we will discuss Beer's law. When a monochromatic light passes through an absorbing medium, its intensity decreases exponentially as the concentration of the absorbing medium increases. The equation is IT is equal to I0 10 to power minus K dash C, where C is equal to concentration. Combining equation 1 and 2, the fundamental equation of colorimetry is produced, which is known as Beer-Lambert law. The Beer-Lambert law will be discussed now. Beer-Lambert law is central to spectrophotometry, and for many current applications, a spectrometer is increasingly becoming the measurement device of choice. This law forms the basis of nearly all the chemometric methods for spectroscopic data. The law claims that when a sample is placed in the beam of a spectrometer, there is a direct and linear relationship between the amount, that is concentration, of its constituents and the amount of energy it absorbs. In mathematical terms, A is equal to log I0 by IT is equal to epsilon BC, or it is also said as A is equal to epsilon BC, where A is absorbance. It has no unit since A is equal to log I0 by IT and ratio has no units. Epsilon is the molar absorptivity with units of L, mole inverse, centimeter inverse. B is the path length of the sample, that is the path length of the cuvette in which the sample is contained. It is expressed in centimeters. C is the concentration of the compound in solution, expressed in mole liter inverse. Transmittance. The ratio of intensities is known as the transmittance or T, and this is usually expressed as percentage. Extinction. If logarithms are taken of the equation instead of a ratio, the expression log 10 I0 by IT is known as the extinction, denoted by capital E, and absorbance, denoted by capital A. The extinction is sometimes referred as optical density. If the Beer-Lambert law is obeyed correctly and I is kept constant, then a plot of extinction against concentration gives a straight line passing through the origin extinction. E is equal to log 10 I0 by I. When a monochromatic light of initial intensity I0 passes through a solution in a transparent vessel, some of the light is absorbed so that the intensity of the transmitted light I is less than I0. There is some loss of light intensity from scattering by particles in the solution and reflection at the interfaces, but mainly from absorption by the solution. The relationship between I and I0 depends on the path length of the absorbing medium, I, and the concentration of the absorbing solution C. These factors are related in the laws of Lambert and Beer. The wavelength and amount of light that a compound absorbs depends on its molecular structure and the concentration of the compound used. Many molecules absorb ultraviolet or visible light. The absorbance of a solution increases as attenuation of the beam increases. Absorbance is directly proportional to the path length B and the concentration C of the absorbing species. Different molecules absorb radiation of different wavelengths. An absorption spectrum will show a number of absorption bands corresponding to structural groups within the molecule. For example, the absorption that is observed in the UV region for the carbonyl group in acetone is of the same wavelength as the absorption from the carbonyl group in diethyl ketone. The absorptivity coefficient for every material is different, but for a given compound at a selected wavelength, this value is a constant. E is also known as molar extinction coefficient. The amount of radiation absorbed may be measured in a number of waves. Absorbance A is equal to log 10 P0 by P. A is equal to log 10 1 by T24. A is equal to log 10 100 by percentage T. A is equal to 2 minus log 10 percentage T. Transmittance T is equal to P by P0. Percentage transmittance percentage T is equal to 100 T. The magnitude of E reflects both the size of the chromophore and the probability that light of a given wavelength will be absorbed when it strikes the chromophore. Epsilon is equal to 0.87 into 1020 P into A, where P is the transition probability 0 to 1. A is the chromophore area in centimeter square. The factors that influence transition probabilities are selection rules, and the peaks with low E values arise from transitions which are formally forbidden. Beer's law and mixtures. The total absorbance of a solution at a given wavelength is equal to the sum of the absorbances of the individual components present. This makes it possible to quantitatively estimate the individual components present. Each analyte present in the solution absorbs light. The magnitude of the absorption depends on its E. A total is equal to A1 plus A2 plus over to AN. A total is equal to epsilon 1 BC1 plus epsilon 2 BC2 over to epsilon n BCN. If epsilon 1 is equal to epsilon 2 is equal to epsilon n, then simultaneous determination is possible. Assumptions of the absorption law. The incident beam is monochromatic. The absorbers absorb independently of each other. Incident radiation consists of parallel rays perpendicular to the surface of the absorbing medium. Path length traversed is uniform over the cross section of the beam. Absorbing medium is homogeneous and does not scatter the radiation. The incident flux is not large enough to cause saturation effects. Now we come to our next module, deviation from Beer's law. The limitations to Beer's law are deviations from the direct proportionality between the measured absorbance and concentration when path length is constant may be encountered. Some of the deviations are inherent to the law, whereas others occur as a consequence of the manner in which the absorbance measurements, instrumental deviations are made, or as a result of chemical changes associated with concentration changes, which are known as chemical deviations. Deviations from the Beer-Lambert law. At sufficiently high concentrations, the absorption bands will saturate and show absorption flattening. The absorption peak appears to flatten because close to 100% of the light is already being absorbed. The concentration at which this occurs depends on the particular compound being measured. Solutions that are not homogeneous can show deviations from the Beer-Lambert law because of the phenomenon of absorption flattening. This can happen, for instance, where the absorbing substance is located within suspended particles. The deviations will be most noticeable under conditions of low concentration and high absorbance. Some solutions like copper chloride in water changes color at a certain concentration because of changed conditions around the colored ion, the divalent copper ion. For copper 2 chloride, it means a shift from blue to green, which would mean that monochromatic measurements would deviate from the Beer-Lambert law. Some of the important conditions for deviations have been summarized below. Beer's law holds good only over a particular concentration range, which is known as Lambert-Beer range. The structure of the colored ions should not change with concentration. Deviation occurs if colored solute ionizes, dissociates or associates in the solution. Deviation occurs if the monochromatic light is not used. Deviation occurs due to the presence of impurities that fluoresces or absorb at the absorption wavelength. Deviation occurs if the width of the slit is not proper. Deviation occurs if the species in the solution undergoes polymerization. Now we will see types of deviation. First is positive deviation. It occurs when a slight change in concentration leads to large change in absorbance. Second is negative deviation. It occurs when large change in concentration leads to small change in absorbance. Next module is graphical presentation of data. Quantitative UV visible analysis. Absorption spectroscopy is one of the most useful tools for quantitative analysis, and its applications are not only numerous but also touch upon every field in which chemical quantitative analysis is required. Quantitative UV visible is used to determine the concentration of an analyte which can absorb in this region in a solution. Beer's law, which gives a linear relationship between absorbance and concentration for dilute solutions, is used. A calibration plot is formed by measuring the absorbance of a series of analyte solutions with different known concentrations and the concentration of the target analyte in the sample under study is determined from the plot. The given figure shows the graphical representation of data. From the given figure, we can see that the graph is plotted between concentration in the x-axis and absorbance in the y-axis. By this, a calibration curve is produced, and thereby we can find out the concentration of the given sample. The spectrometer measures the intensity of a reference beam through a solvent only, and the intensity of a beam through a solution of the sample Is. Absorbance is the log of the ratio. Graph is absorbance versus wavelength. Usually shows broad peaks. Read lambda max from the graph. The given figure shows spectrum showing wavelength maximum, that is lambda max. The figure shows that the solution is scanned in a given range of wavelength and the absorbance is determined. From that we get the highest wavelength range. For example, in the given graph we can see that the lambda max obtained is 222 nanometer. Next module is chromophores. A chromophore is the part of a molecule responsible for its color. The color arises when a molecule absorbs certain wavelengths of visible light and transmits or reflects others. The chromophore is a region in the molecule where the energy difference between two different molecular orbitals falls within the range of the visible spectrum. We can see in the given figure the visible region of spectrum. When a white light passes through prism, the dispersion occurs and the light is divided into various wavelength regions. Visible light that hits the chromophore can thus be absorbed by exciting an electron from its ground state into an excited state. In biological molecules that serve to capture or detect light energy, the chromophore is the moiety that causes a conformational change of the molecule when hit by light. Most UV visible spectrometric studies are carried out between 180 to 780 nanometer range. Region below 180 nanometer is referred to as the vacuum ultraviolet region. Atmospheric gases and most glasses and quartz absorb below 180 nanometer, making measurements difficult without taking special measures. The only molecular moieties that absorb light in the 200 to 800 nanometer range are pi electron functions and heteroatoms having non-bonding valence shell electron pairs. Chemical functionalities that are responsible for absorption are referred to as chromophores. Thus, any species which is colored absorbs visible light, and any moiety with an extended system of alternating double and single bonds will absorb UV light or ultraviolet light. This makes UV visible spectroscopy applicable to a wide range of samples. Examples of chromophore groups are double bonds, triple bonds, nitro groups, nitroso groups, azo groups, carbonyl group, thiocarbonyl group, etc. The presence of an absorbance band at a particular wavelength often is a good indicator of the presence of a chromophore. However, the position of the absorbance maximum is not fixed but depends partially on the molecular environment of the chromophore and on the solvent in which the sample may be dissolved. Other parameters such as pH and temperature also may cause changes in both the intensity and the wavelength of the absorbance maxima. In addition to such organic compounds, early transition metals also absorb in UV region depending on the nature of the ligand. The table shows absorption by molecules with heteroatoms. We can see here various compounds having lambda max range. CH3OH has 167 nanometer, CH3 twice O 184 nanometer, CH3Cl 173, CH3I 258, CH3 twice S 229, CH3NH2 215, CH3 thrice N 227 nanometer. Effect of solvent on absorption. The solvent in which the absorbing species is dissolved also has an effect on the spectrum of the species. Peaks resulting from N to pi dash transitions are shifted to shorter wavelengths, that is blue shift, with increasing solvent polarity because of increased solvation of the lone pair in the ground state, which lowers the energy of the n orbital. Often the reverse, that is red shift, is seen for pi to pi dash transitions. This is caused by attractive polarization forces between the solvent and the absorbing molecule, which lower the energy levels of both the excited and unexcited states. The effect being greater for the excited state, the energy difference between the excited and unexcited states is slightly reduced, resulting in a small redshift. This effect can also influence N to pi dash transitions but cannot be observed due to the dominant blue shift resulting from solvation of lone pairs. Key chromophores for UV visible spectroscopy. Isolated double bond. Due to pi dash electronic transition, unconjugated alkenes absorb below 200 nanometer. Example, ethene shows an absorption at 171 nanometer. Alkyl substituents or the ring residues attached to the olefinic carbon shift the absorption band towards longer wavelength, as can be seen with absorption pattern of compounds like 1-octene and cyclohexene, which absorb at 177 nanometer and 182 nanometer respectively. Conjugated dienes. With the increase in conjugation, the absorption moves towards longer wavelengths, thus compared with ethene, which absorbs at 171 nanometer. 1,3-butadiene absorbs at 217 nanometer. Sufficient conjugation shifts the absorption to wavelengths that reach the visible region of the spectrum. An acyclic diene largely exists in the preferred S-trans conformation, as is so in the case of butadiene, as rotation about the central single bond is possible. In case of a cyclic diene, it is forced into a cissoid configuration, resulting in shifting the absorption to longer wavelengths, but the intensity is lowered. Conjugated chromophore. In response to a photon, gamma light of the correct wavelength, 1,1-cis retinal becomes all trans retinal in the conjugated chromophores. The electrons jump between energy levels that are extended pi orbitals created by a series of alternating single and double bonds, often in aromatic systems. Common examples include retinal used in the eye to detect light, various food colorings, fabric dyes like azo compounds, pH indicators, lycopene, beta-carotene and anthocyanins. Various factors in a chromophore's structure go into determining at what wavelength region in a spectrum the chromophore will absorb. Lengthening or extending a conjugated system with more unsaturated multiple bonds in a molecule will tend to shift absorption to longer wavelengths. Woodward-Flesser rules can be used to approximate ultraviolet visible maximum absorption wavelength in organic compounds with conjugated pi bond systems. Some of these are metal complex chromophores, which contain a metal in a coordination complex with ligands. Examples are chlorophyll, which is used by plants for photosynthesis, and hemoglobin, the oxygen transporter in the blood of vertebrate animals. In these two examples, a metal is complexed at the center of a tetrapyrrole macrocycle ring, the metal being iron in the heme group, iron in a porphyrin ring of hemoglobin, or magnesium complex in a chlorine type ring in the case of chlorophyll. The highly conjugated pi bonding system of the macrocycle ring absorbs visible light. The nature of the central metal can also influence the absorption spectrum of the metal macrocycle complex or properties such as excited state lifetime. The tetrapyrrole moiety in organic compounds, which is not macrocyclic but still has a conjugated pi bond system, still acts as a chromophore. Examples of such compounds include bilirubin and urobilin, which exhibit a yellow color. Next term is oxochrome. The absorption of a given molecule is enhanced by the presence of groups called oxochromes. These groups have a profound effect on the absorption of the molecule to which they are attached. Example, hydroxyl group, methyl group, nitro group, etc. They displace the absorption maximum to a longer wavelength, which is known as bathochromic shift. They are electron donating groups. Spectroscopists use the following terms when describing shifts in absorption. First is bathochromic shift, also known as redshift. It refers to the displacement of the wavelength or absorption maxima to a longer wavelength. Hypsochromic shift or blue shift. It refers to the displacement of the wavelength, that is absorption maxima, to shorter wavelength. Hyperchromic shift. To greater absorbance, increase in the intensity of light. Hypochromic shift. To lesser absorbance, that is decrease in the intensity. Next module is photometric errors. Wavelength error. In liquids, the extinction coefficient usually changes slowly with wavelength. A peak of the absorbance curve, a wavelength where the absorbance reaches a maximum, is where the rate of change in absorbance with wavelength is smallest. Measurements are usually made at a peak to minimize errors produced by errors in wavelength in the instrument, that is, errors due to having a different extinction coefficient than assumed. Conclusion. With all these information, here we come to end of today's lecture. Hope you have understood the concepts related to UV visible spectroscopy. Further, have a look again on the complete topic yourself so that you are thorough with it. The topic that we have discussed today is very simple and good. It could be well remembered. So dear students, this is Dr. Chanchal taking leave from you with the hope that you enjoyed and understood today's lecture. We will continue in our next lecture with the second part of ultraviolet and visible spectrophotometry, in which we will discuss the instrumentation part. If you want to learn more and enhance your knowledge, you may log on to our website for MCQ, quizzes, LORs. www.cec.nic.in. Till then, keep studying. Goodbye.